So with higher insurance costs and higher interest rates, have you seen homes be harder to buy, harder to insure, or harder to sell because they lack upgrades such as a new roof, impact protection, or other mitigation features?
Oh my goodness. That's the one thing, and I think in my notes that I knew we didn't talk about.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you have an older home, like I said, people fall in love in the Gables. I've got a house that's technically the Gables, or in Coconut Grove. You know, they're old homes and they have toenails and they have no hurricane protection. And you're going for a loan and your insurance comes back, and I am not kidding, like $8,000. And your mortgage person said, oh, well, you need a $4,000 homeowners policy. That's a problem. Maybe to your DTI, maybe you're just scraping by enough to pay for that house.
Right.
And it's going to make or break the deal. You know, yeah, if you have a really good job and you've got no debt or whatever, and it fits, you're done.
Right.
You can worry about everything later. But if it's not taken even before they sell it, like put that new roof on, you know, because there might be a time where I go, there's nothing left on this roof. Right. It's done. And they're trying to sell it as is, or for somebody who needs financing. It just doesn't work that way. Yeah. But yeah, it could definitely blow up a deal. It could blow up your sale.
So, and then I've heard something that happens in the real estate market is a house goes under contract. Somebody's not able to qualify because the mortgage payment plus the insurance plus the taxes plus the interest is too high, so they have to back out of the deal. There's a financing contingency, so they can back out and not lose their deposit. However, for the other people that were potentially considering that home, now your house has a black eye because somebody went under contract and they didn't pull the trigger. So now there's an explanation and you have to explain it. It kind of opens up a can of worms.
Right.
So being a homeowner that's looking to sell their house, it would be worth it to do some of these upgrades to open up the doors to more potential buyers that can now afford, because $8,000 a year comes out to $666 a month. So somebody would have to pay an additional $666 a year for that higher level of insurance, or for that somebody would have to pay $666 for a more expensive policy because the house isn't built to current codes. So therefore that $666, as you mentioned, can put you over the DTI to where the mortgage payment or the total payment for that house is greater than what you qualify for.
Right.
So now, let's just say you qualified for $1 million house, but now this $1 million house with a $10,000 payment, that $600 can put you over the threshold to where you don't qualify for that mortgage anymore, and the deal falls apart.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, it happens often. I don't know about Miami, but definitely in other parts of the state, I've seen that happen. And, they can't afford to put a new roof on and they're trying to sell it to somebody who has, financing, and it just kind of like falls apart. But again, there's so many little things that somebody could do to their property, to make it look good.
Right.
But to get a new roof or to get some sort of hurricane protection, it's definitely gonna be a sales item that's gonna, show their house in a good light, but also it's gonna help that deal go through. And there's one more thing. I was in the lending business, but being in the insurance business, why am I the last person you call? Like, seriously, why does everybody kick the can down the road when it comes to insurance, when it could affect your financing?
Absolutely.
Find out, and then also you can use me as a negotiating tool. Well, we did some pricing, and if this house had this, then my price would only be that, and I would be able to get this house.
Got it.
Or, I need a credit, and instead of saying like, I want the whole credit for the roof, maybe I'll take half the credit because I'll save some money with the insurance.
Got it. On the back end. It's
definitely a tool. I've actually had realtors like send me something and go, what do you think? Is this insurable? And I'm either like, yes or no. Everything's insurable, but will it qualify for the bank? Because if you go surplus for like a builder's risk, it's ACV, actual cash value. They want replacement cost.
Got it.
So if you're the insured buying the house and you take the policy and then try to pass it off at the lender, you're in trouble with the lender, not me. You misrepresented what the policy was. Because I'm not insuring it for the bank. I'm insuring it for you. You tell me that's what you want?
Have you seen homeowners spend real money on things such as the secondary water barrier, etc., and still miss out on discounts? Obviously, we talked earlier about being misled by roofers, window companies, whatever. But have you actually seen homeowners do these upgrades, not get credit for it because they were missing paperwork, inspection documentation, or that the inspection documentation or pictures paperwork were incomplete or incorrect? And what should homeowners ask their contractor for before and after the job so they don't lose out on those insurance benefits?
You kind of alluded to it earlier, or you actually talked about it, I think, is, get as much documentation from the builder as possible. Get pictures.
Okay.
As you're putting the
secondary water barrier.
Yeah, secondary water barrier, take pictures. And I would take pictures like, I have a pool. My tile's very distinct. Take a picture that kind of includes my pool. So if an underwriter ever gave me a hard time, I'd be like, that's my pool.
Got it.
That's my sidewalk.
So you need something in the background, not just general pictures, like close-ups where I couldn't tell your house from your neighbor's house from your other neighbor's house.
I mean, honestly, I think if it said secondary water resistant, they'd go ahead and mark off on it.
Okay.
But at some point, if an inspector can't see it, say it's been sold once or twice, the paperwork never follows.
Got it.
And like you said, there's nothing you can look in Miami-Dade to find out exactly what they did or what they used. All they care about is the permit. But if the permit's not in county records or you can't put it on a 4-point or a windmill, I know what it is. So remember I told you it's hard for me, and usually you guys do Build-A-Fax. Right. There's a website you can go to as an inspector or a contractor and find out what permits were pulled. If you can't find it and you can't put it on the 4-point for proof of the permit for the roof, you don't get the credit. So have evidence, have a number, have something from the city that shows you have a final. All they care about is the words final. Got it. That means it's done. It's done. Yeah. So does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's also where working with a company that utilizes technology can come in handy as well, because not only do we take pictures on the roof, but we actually utilize a drone through different stages of the roof. So now, as you mentioned, if I take a close-up of this secondary water barrier right here, I can't see your pool, I can't see your neighbor's house, I can't see anything that is able to be a determination between this house and any other house in Miami. Whereas a drone picture, we might catch your car, or we're going to catch your neighbor's house, we're going to catch details about your backyard that are very hard to deny as proof that this is your actual house. Yeah. So, working with
I said, I don't think it's a big deal. Like if the inspector has proof, he's going to mark it yes. He sees it in your paperwork, and he sees pictures of it or whatever. I don't, but for the next person that's buying it, it might be good for sure.
Got it. Okay.
But like I said, I'm not going to lose it. I'm not going to let a customer lose a deal over $100. There's water, and most of the time I put no. And they say, yeah, I got it. Well, you can't prove it. It's $100, it's $25, it's $50.
Yeah, and it all adds up. So if a homeowner in Florida listens to this and was only able to take away a few things from this conversation, what do you most want them to remember?
That's a good question.
I'm going to answer that for you. Talk to your insurance agent. Make sure you get good documentation of any work that's done in your home.
Yes.
Communicate again with your insurance agent. Secondary water barriers don't save as much money as they're being advertised as to. Hurricane straps, having opening protection is going to give you a big discount. Hurricane protection, hurricane straps are going to give you the most discounts. As we talked about, unfortunately, switching from shutters to impact windows do not save you anything additional, specifically related to insurance. Anything else I'm missing?
I think that's pretty good. Just take care of your home.
Yeah.
Always show it in the best light. And when you're buying a home, if you see something glaring, ask them to take care of it before you take pictures. One more thing.
Sure.
Inspectors are gold. You need the right inspector, just like you need the right contractor. Somebody that you can call and you can get answers from, that where you're at. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you use You can use any inspector. I'm not going to hold you to anybody. But there's been times when I've had to get inspections fixed, and there's people there's nowhere to be found.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then a win mit's good for 5 years. 4 points only good for 1 year. I found one company that allowed 2.
Wow.
But you still need pictures, which we could take, but not a big deal. But so if they're gone, I can't get a hold of somebody that's already done that.